Hello everybody, Smokity Smokes here once again. Finally, it's not like terribly pitch black outside where I have to have my flashlight out, although pretty soon I'll probably have to whip it out because the sun is going down fast. I know I just ran out here after I got some work done today to do some kind of review before the sun goes down. I know there's no reason for me to rush them, but I just really felt like I had to smoke in a pipe for a little bit. I just finished rehydrating this Cornell Diehl's Orion's Arrow, which, according to the website, is made of almost equal parts Perique, Orientals / Turkishes, whatever you want to call those, red and white Virginia. That's what the website says anyway. So I got this to pretty much the perfect consistency, it seems like. I mean, might be, no, I think it's perfect. It was slightly dry, like I said in my previous video, by all the tobaccos I have on the very top. The top layer of the big old mason jar that I have, all my English ones in anyway, were slightly on the dry side. So I just 2 nights ago stuck a damp napkin into all of the bags right here. Literally just a few minutes ago I pulled this one out. I think it's perfect. It's not so wet that it all clumps together in a ball when you pinch it, but it's not so dry that it's like a bunch of old, fall leaves on the forest floor. But anyway, so I'm gonna check this bad boy out. Having some trouble keeping the Bic lighter lit because it's slightly windy out today. There we go. Just one more light. Pretty soon I plan on doing some reviews where you can actually see me a little better. This is more like a dusk, twilight kind of. It's not like pitch black like my other videos were, but not that you really need to see my face, but the idea behind this tobacco, from what I've been reading, is that it's supposed to have a very balanced flavor, very balanced room note, very balanced strength to it. Almost like a meal and a smoke type thing. It's not very light, it's not like really strong in your face either. Having some trouble keeping it lit though. Now I'm assuming there's Latakia in here, there has to be, it tastes like it. On the website I briefly looked, it didn't say Latakia anywhere, but because it's an English blend, maybe it was just assuming that you would know that there was Latakia. I'll have it annotated. It's pretty good, but so far I'm struggling to, keep it lit. It is lit, but I'm not getting much smoke out of it. It could be because maybe it's slightly too moist, maybe I packed it too hard. Already through the camera's viewfinder, I can already see that I'm disappearing. It's getting really dark, so I'll get my flashlight out real quick, and I'll try to aerate this or make this a little bit easier to puff on so I can give you a more proper review. Okay. I'm back, and the flashlight has returned once again. I really don't want to have all these videos become, consistently pitch darkness with me sitting in front of the flashlight. It just so happens to be my current schedule, and now when I've been making these videos, I want to do videos out when it's brighter. Another thing is, though, I typically smoke closer to nighttime. That's the other thing. I'm just being genuine. But today I was kind of going out of my way to make a review on this. For whatever reason, I could take this stem off and declog the shank? I think it's a shank, right? That's a shaft, that's a shank. I have to get my pipe vocabulary back in order, but yeah. I had to take it off, unclog it with the tamper. Don't know how that happened. I don't recall putting the tobacco in that tight, but still having some trouble keeping it lit, but again, I think that's user error. I don't think that's anything wrong with the tobacco itself. So the flavors are, it's oaky, it's slightly sweet, it's slightly sour, it's slightly peppery, all from the sourness I suspect is from the Turkishes or the Orientals. I'm just going to call them Orientals from now on, Orientals. The pepperiness, most likely the Perique, and the Virginias give it a bit of a sweetness to it, but they also smoke a little bit hot. But I think I'm gonna refill this bowl up because I'm just having so many problems keeping it lit, and even though I try to fix it, every time I do that I just screw it up, and I'm getting a lot of moisture coming up the stem, so it's really affecting the way it's tasting. So I'm gonna redo this, but so far I'm able to taste past all of the gross, weird stuff happening because of how I probably screwed it up when I was packing it. But to give it a proper review, I'm going to repack it. And yes, I've had this before, I just want to do it again for the video, so I'll be right back once again. Okay, I am back once again. I know, quality programming, right? Jumping back and forth and screwing things up and fixing my mistakes. This is the final cut. Don't worry, I'm not going to bail on you this time. I figured out the problem. For the most part. Went up to my room, took the stem off, and shot some compressed air down there, and something flew out of it, and it was just in the way and was clogging, and no matter how loosely I was packing tobacco, I was just not getting good airflow because something was clogging the stem. And when you use pipe, like I made a video before, when you use pipe cleaners and such, you can clean pipe stems pretty easily, but that's usually an issue with church warden pipes, which are longer, about twice, almost 3 times the size of most pipe stems. But I made a video in the past, use compressed air. Just get a can of compressed air at Walgreens or Walmart or Staples or wherever. It'll shoot whatever's in there right out. It's just way too much pressure for anything to get caught in there. But regularly clean your pipes. I'll probably do a video on pipe cleaning pretty soon. Okay, and I did some further research while I was gone. And yeah, there's no, I don't think there's any Latakia in here. I'm really surprised. An English blend with no Latakia. It's a first for me. But it is very smoky. So an English blend is supposed to be something that's really strong and smoky, right? That's an English blend. It doesn't have to have Latakia in it. Latakia just happens to be I think the smokiest of all the different tobaccos out there. Because it is smoke dried, literally with smoke they used to dry it. Or smoke cured, I think it's called. Regardless, this is a pretty strong smoke. It's a good flavor, very unique. Unlike most English blends or tobaccos in general that I've had before. Yeah, it's a little peppery. It smokes a little bit hot. I suspect that's from the Virginias. Virginias, again, they just smoke very, very hot, but you get a lot of flavor and sweetness out of them. Wow, yeah, there's a really strong after note to it too. So Orientals, or Turkishes, I'm going to call them Orientals, have a floral flavor to them. I have videos, if you haven't seen this before, I've had videos where I describe each individual tobacco element. I talk about Orientals and Latakia and Virginias. Orientals tend to have a very floral, if not sometimes a bit sour flavor to them. Very interesting. It's not my favorite, but occasionally I do like them in certain tobaccos. And when you puff out, when you release the air out of your mouth, you get a strong floral aroma, or, man, how am I describing this? You get a strong floral taste, I guess is the best way I can put it. Speaking of aromas, though, or room note, let's see. It's good, but like you'd imagine with most English blends, it's not particularly the most pleasant. In fact, some people may find, most of the time, a lot of people who are particularly not pipe smokers, or even cigar smokers, would find it somewhat offensive. It's like a strong, it's not as bad as a cigarette, of course, but it's strong. It's a very strong scent. It's not like you have an aromatic. It smells like somebody's baking cupcakes outside or something. It doesn't smell particularly pleasant, but I don't mean that in a bad way. If you're a pipe smoker, you probably, especially if you're an English blend smoker, you probably will appreciate the way it smells. But for most non-smoking people, I'm gonna go ahead and say they're probably, like you'd imagine with basically all English blends, they're gonna find it, yeah, smoky to smell. Should have brought my Zippo out today. Zippos are great for windy days. Bic lighters are awesome and all. I love Bic lighters. They're cheap. They're like indestructible. They're pretty much waterproof. But they don't do very well in the wind. Soft flames just don't. Zippos are excellent. So that. Oh yeah, yeah, very floral tasting. Also, if you notice that everything's fading in and out, me cutting it, I'm trying not to edit it too much, it's just I'm spitting occasionally, and everyone finds that pretty, I think most people find that pretty gross, so I edit those out. I try to keep my editing to a minimum, but if I'm getting a lot of moisture, I'm spitting it, just spitting every 20 seconds, it's just gross, nobody wants to listen to that, so. Very interesting smoke. It's not my go-to, it's not my favorite. But very interesting, very, very floral. The Orientals I'm getting the most out of, and there's a bit of a pepperiness to it coming from the Perique. I love Perique. Perique's very interesting. It's slightly sweet too, and again, there's red and yellow Virginias in here. For reference, yellow Virginias are a bit sweeter than the red Virginias, but they burn a lot hotter. They burn really, really hot. You cannot just have yellow Virginias. If you get some straight up yellow Virginia and just try to smoke it, good luck. It's the biggest tongue bite you will ever get. It's like a freaking great white shark's bite in your tongue. Red Virginias are a little bit toastier, and they smoke a little bit cooler, so like having a blend of the two is pretty good. Yeah. Well, if you like Orientals, you're going to like this. I think you have to, if you like English blends and you like Orientals, you're a big fan of those, this is for you. Very floral, not quite as smoky as most English blends, because again, there's a lack of the Latakia in it. And it's sweet, too. It's pretty sweet, not like an aromatic sweet, but it's pretty sweet for an English blend. I really wish this could have a pipe filter, because I do not like the moisture coming up. I love pipe filters. There's different opinions on them. People say different things. I like them. I like how they absorb the moisture, if there is any moisture, which I happen to have a lot of with this pipe for some reason. I'm going to clean it later, but... It's good. Orion's Arrow. Very well balanced, unique flavor. And again, I like the way it smells, but a lot of people probably won't like the way this smells. It's not extremely smoky, but it's kind of funny smelling. It just smells funny. Like, I mean, again, I mean that in a good way, but for non-smokers, it's like, what is that? What are you smoking? Some weird pot or something? Like, not that it smells like pot, it's just smells mushroomy, I guess is the best way I can describe it. It's like floral and mushroomy, and I love mushroomy tobaccos. Those are really, really interesting. Alright, I'm just going to keep repeating myself if I keep on this. Despite some technical difficulties in this video, this is a winner. Orion's Arrow is good. I would not personally go out of my way to get it again, because there's so many other tobaccos I prefer and I think are a little better. That being said, this is good. It's, again, floral, peppery, kind of sweet. Not quite as smoky as most English blends, but it's not smoky enough to be a non-aromatic. You got your English blends, you got your non-aromatics, and you got your aromatics. Over here, this side where my hand was, that's the most smoky, and if non-aromatics are a little less smoky, a little more sweet, a little more muted, and aromatics is where they get very sweet and like dessert tasting almost. This is like somewhere in between an English and a non-aromatic. It's not quite an English, it's not quite a non-aromatic, it's in between those two. I'm going to call it a non-English. A non-English blend. Even though that's probably BS. It is an English blend, but that's what I'm going to call it based on my brain. It's not going to be an all-day smoke either. It's a little too strong for my taste to be an all-day smoke. I think you would think the same even if you are an English blend smoker. But if you smoke a lot of English blends, this is going to be a little bit lighter for you. If you only, I know some people who, well, not personally, but there are people out there who only smoke English blends. That's all they smoke. They don't want cherry, aromatic stuff. They want smoky Mother Earth tasting tobaccos. And if you're one of those guys, you might want to give this a shot. This is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. Very unique flavor. It's good. It's good. It's good. Personally, though, I like, Dunhill Nightcap and stuff that's, really peppery or really smoky, or I like to go all out, get something that's really sweet. I like really full-bodied, fully flavorful stuff. This does not have a particular flavor to it. It's just kind of, it's like it advertises exactly. It's a blend. It's like an equal blend of 4 different tobaccos, and that's what I'm tasting, and it's good. Let me give it just a couple more few good puffs here, because one thing about pipe tobacco is that for my experiences anyway, it's not easy to just keep it lit and you talk and review and puff and later review, you take another puff. I kind of smoke really fast, otherwise it goes out on me pretty quickly. One upside I like about cigars, the biggest disadvantage to them is that they're really expensive compared to pipe tobacco. But an advantage is you can keep a cigar there for like a few minutes and then take a puff on it and then it just starts smoking. You don't need to keep doing this, relighting it every minute. But again, probably just my technique, but I'm starting to get to the end of the bowl here. When I did the second pack there, I only kind of like half filled it. I didn't need to fill the whole thing all the way up because I'm already getting kind of nicotined out here. Strong nicotine content in this one. All right, yeah, I'm gonna call it quits. Again, Orion's Arrow, good. Not my favorite. It's different, but like I said before, it's very fresh tasting. You get the fresh floral, but it's kind of smoky at the same time because it's almost like an English blend taste. I've never had anything quite like it before. It's interesting. It's not an all-out, it's all this or all that. It's somewhere in the sea of the middle of different types of tobacco flavors, but it's balanced very well. It's executed really well. If this sounds like, if you're a trooper and you like trying interesting things and you like taking risks, this is one tobacco to try. You're not going to have anything quite like it, I don't think. I haven't, anyway. I want to go out of my way to get it. Again, there's plenty of other tobaccos I'd rather have, but it's good. Orion's there. I will smoke it again. I'll smoke the rest of that I have. It's not bad, but that's the video. Now, the quality of this video, yeah, sorry about the flashlight creepy thing going on, like I usually do. I want to do stuff more out in the light. Once summertime rolls around, we're in spring now, right? Is it spring? I think it's spring officially, early spring. This is late March 2020. From now on, videos things should be a little bit lighter because the sun will be out longer. Yeah, and I'm not gonna show too much of me fiddling around trying to not screw up the tobacco like I did earlier. I figured I would just leave that in for this video because I like being honest, like being genuine, and I think a lot of people watching this will be able to relate to them like also screwing up. Because when I watch videos like this, when I watch videos that seem really professional and really well done, and the guy smoking the pipe has no problems, everything's perfect, I get really jealous sometimes. I'm like, why can't I have an experience like that? But you never know. Like, there might be a lot of crap they're just cutting out that they're not showing for your sake, which is nice and all, it's good. But occasionally some people like myself like to see some more honest stuff. I like seeing the person screw up, cameras having issues, because it's relatable, But I'm not going to do that for all of my videos. If you're new and you haven't subscribed to me yet, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos. My point is, I'm not going to include stuff like that as much. This is a very long video. Usually I try to keep them under like 10 minutes, probably even closer to 5. But yeah, just me being genuine, showing you the real me. So anyway, that is Cornell Diehl Orion's Arrow. Stay tuned. I'll try to make videos once a week, somewhere around there, and if not, it'll be once every 2 to 3 weeks when I'm slow. But you can expect videos a few times a month at least. So that concludes this really long tobacco review. Have a good night. Stay safe. Don't catch that coronavirus.